Hey guys, welcome back to 90 Feet from Home. I'm your host Ashley, and since it's Saturday, you know what that means. It's another weekly lingo lesson. And as I'm recording this, it is about 9 million degrees outside, so this may look like highlighter, but it is in fact just dew. I'm melting under the studio lights right now. So I'm going to try and keep this one real quick. We are going to be talking about a feature that is found on the field today that is kind of unique. And if you recall, I did do a Parts of the Park episode, which I will link to, and you can go visit that if you want to learn a little bit more about what features are found in every park. But today we're going to talk about something that is unique to only one Major League Baseball park, and that is the keyhole. Now, up until the 2018 season, there were actually two stadiums that used a keyhole design still, which were the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Detroit Tigers. But as of the 2019 season, the Diamondbacks have removed theirs, citing additional difficulties in grounds crew work that they wanted to kind of remove it because it was very hard to upkeep. Presently, the only Major League team that continues to have a keyhole is the Detroit Tigers at Comerica Park. So the keyhole is actually just a narrow corridor of dirt that leads from home plate all the way up to the pitcher's mound. It's just a path, a dirt path leading from the home plate box right up to that pitcher's mound. And I'll throw a picture up so you guys can get a better visualization of what I'm talking about. You still might see this pop up if you're at a local Little League diamond or in smaller parks, because it was once a very key feature of almost all stadiums before they started to get fancy and, you know, the more modern designs came in, but it was very common in the past. And the Tigers actually brought it in as kind of a throwback to those earlier stadium designs. There are a lot of kind of theories as to why the keyhole design existed in the first place. The most popular being is that it was actually a visual line of sight for umpires, so they could use it as kind of a dirt framing to better see the pitch as it came towards them, so that they were better able to tell kind of where it was in line with home plate, so that they were better able to call balls or strikes. Now, the reason this isn't needed anymore is that Major League umpires go through extensive training. I'll throw my video on umpires up as well. And they do learn better ways to kind of figure out what those balls and strikes are, and the need for a visual path isn't really necessary. Now, I'm sure there are people out here who will argue with me as to whether or not umpires are capable of calling balls and strikes, and I don't disagree. Sometimes robot umpires seem like they would be a great idea, but that's generally what the idea of it existing in the first place was, a sort of a visual guide so that umpires could better line up those balls or strikes. Another reason for it to exist is actually a pretty good one, and a reason why I think more places should use it is that it is a pretty commonly traversed pathway. So the catcher often has to go out to the pitcher's mound, the umpire has to often go out and break up meetings on the mound. All sorts of people use that pathway to go out to get to the pitcher's mound, meaning that before grounds crews were quite as advanced as they are now, it was kind of a strip of grass that would get trampled on quite a bit. So it made a lot of sense for them to just put a dirt path there so that they didn't have to upkeep the grass on that pathway. So I can see why with the really quality grounds crew work that they have now, it's not quite as necessary, but it did actually make a lot of sense to have that pathway there. And then the third reason people suggest the keyhole existed was because there are kind of a lot of similarities between cricket and baseball, in that they have a bowler instead of a pitcher and a batsman instead of a hitter. And in cricket, there is a dirt path between the bowler and the batsman. So people suggested that in early baseball, there may have been that keyhole path in existence because it kind of harkened back to cricket in that way. So there you go, guys. A little bit of interesting information on a very rare feature in parks these days. If you want to see one in person, I suggest getting out to Detroit and going to Comerica, because heaven only knows how long that keyhole path is going to remain there. So thank you guys so much for joining me for this lingo lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a big thumbs up if you did, and remember to click that subscribe button down below and ring the bell if you want to be notified every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday when new episodes go live. And remember, of course, you can always follow me on social media, where I'm at 90 Feet from Home on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. But of course, my favorite, guys, comment down below. I love getting the comments on these YouTube videos, and it's where I get all of my ideas, quite frankly. So leave a comment down below. Tell me what you thought about this one. Tell me if there's any other weird one-off park features that you'd like to see featured in another episode like this. And with that, I hope you guys have an awesome day, and we'll see you back next time. Bye!